She's such a hard worker. She volunteers to help me without a break today. That's what daughters-in-law should be like. My mother-in-law prevented me from sitting on a chair, even thought I was pregnant. When I tried to rest, she whispered, "Keep working, you pig," in my ear. I'm exhausted. Since I had been working on my feet for a while, I felt pressure in my stomach. I needed to sit down and take a break somehow. While my mother-in-law excused herself to use the restroom, I managed to sneak myself onto the couch. I was planning to get up before she returned. It had been hours since last I had a break. She'll be back soon. I should get up now. As I was contemplating, "Why are you sitting there? Get up and work. It's only a few hours. Don't be so lazy." I was awakened by her yell. I had no clue that I had dozed off. "Oh, sorry. I'll get up right now. Ouch." There was a shock of pain in my stomach from the sudden movement, and my mother-in-law quickly raised her hand. "My name is Amber. I'm a housemaker who turned 30 this year. I live with my husband Simon, who is 2 years older than me. I met him 3 years after I started working. A friend of mine from university was having drinks and invited me to join her. He happened to be sitting next to me at the bar. At first, I was skeptical of him, but he turned out to be the down-to-earth guy, and we ended up hitting off. We exchanged our numbers and gradually became closer. We became official 6 months later and got married after 3 years of dating. I quit my job when we got married, and now I'm solely responsible for the housework. It was never my desire to be a full-time housewife, though. I thought it would be the best way to support Simon, who was busy with his trading job. Even though his schedule is hectic, he never forgets to show his affection. He always gives me cards and gifts on my birthday and anniversaries, and often showers me with love and appreciation. I'm always grateful to have such a nice husband. It's a smooth sailing marriage, but there's one problem. It is my mother-in-law, Tina, who lives a short distance away from us. She and her husband are still together, but whenever he is out, she visits me without notice. She comes at least 3 times a week, which I think is more than normal. Her purpose is to train me. She has an idea of a perfect wife and thinks I'm far from it. Under the guise of training, she just uses me however she wants to. She tells me to cook dinner for her and her husband, and sends me to buy her favorite sweets from a high-end patisserie. Every time she comes over, I become her personal assistant. Each of her demands is nothing to get so upset about, but when they pile up, they become burdens. Also, she's extremely proud of Simon's high education and high income and brags about how she had raised him to be an elite. I can let such boasting pass if it's only a few times, but she repeats it every time I see her. Of course, I can't let her know how I feel, as she will instantly get upset. I normally go along by exaggerating my admiration for her. There's one more thing that is causing me tremendous stress. She's always urging me to have a baby. Simon and I would love to have kids, but the storks haven't come to us. We're considering fertility treatment as an option, but we're still hoping the natural conception and haven't visited the clinic yet. Tina seems to have an extraordinary idea of having grandchildren. She is also looking forward to taking them to various places when they are born. One of her friends recently got a grandchild and has been showing her pictures, which got her envious. The other day, she told me that she will raise my kids so I can focus on my housework. It makes me worry about what the future holds for me. Then one morning, I woke up feeling ill. I don't have a fever, but I feel nauseous and don't have much of an appetite. After Simon left for work, I rest for a while, but I am not getting better. I'm worried, so I decided to go to hospital in the afternoon. The doctor there tells me that I'm pregnant. I called Simon as soon as I get home. "Hey, hon, I'm sorry to bother you at work, but there is something I really want to tell you." He alarmingly asks if everything's okay. "We are pregnant. You're finally going to be a dad." He pauses for a moment and then screams in joy. We share our excitement for a bit and talk about the future. We agreed not to tell anyone until we're in a stable period for now. Of course, we would keep it a secret from Tina. The problem is her unannounced visits and ridiculous demands. It would be fine if she just asked me to cook dinner or go shopping at the local supermarket. But if she asked me to weed her garden or clean the attic, it would be the problem for me. Since then, I've been in a whirl of attrition with her. I can't do much about her showing up at my house unannounced, so I came up with a plan to fake illness and stay in bed. The moment she arrives, I would rush to my room and jump in the bed. She's not that selfish to drag me out of bed. When she asks me to come to her house, I use the same excuse of being ill and decline. While I've been in such a battle, I finally entered a stable period. It's about time for my belly to start showing. Simon and I had been discussing when to announce it. Then I received a call from Tina. "Oh, hi. If you're there, pick up the phone faster. You're really slow." "Sorry, what's going on with you today?" She has been on edge lately since she hasn't been able to use me as she wants. Actually, I'm having a small gathering with my friends the day after tomorrow at my place. You're coming too, right? Everyone's asking about you." I've met her friends before. They're supposedly friends from the church. I think about refusing for a moment, but I remember that the doctor advises light exercise to control my weight. Based on my past experience, I know that she wouldn't ask me to do outrageous things in front of her friends. I decide to participate. "Yes, I will join you." Her voice thrills with satisfaction. "Great! Come a little early on the day and help me with the preparations." She hands up the phone. On the day of the gathering, Tina calls me over early. It's supposed to start at 3 p.m., but I've been summoned and forced to run errands since 8 a.m., starting from laundering and cleaning to preparing lunch and even giving her a massage. It goes on and on endlessly. I haven't been able to sit down even once all this time. Could you please let me sit down and take a break for a moment? "What are you talking about? You had been sick for a while, so I was considerate to leave you alone. Now, you can work hard." "But I don't want to hear excuses. I'm going to the store to buy sweets for later, so you can wash the dishes." I try to tell her I'm pregnant, but she would not listen to me and goes out to a nearby pastry store. I have no choice but to get on with the cleaning. She finally comes back at 3 p.m. with her friends. I'm back, Amber. I ran into them nearby, so we came together. Here, I bought cakes. Can you put them on plates and bring them out to the table? She shoves the box of cakes to me and quickly takes her own seat. Apparently, she has no intention of doing anything herself. I let out a discreet sigh and greet her friends before heading to the kitchen. When I open the box, I find various pieces of cake. There are 4. 3 friends are here. No matter how I think about it, one is missing. No way. Tina seemed to be adamant not to let me sit down. Even after serving the cakes, she tried to keep me away from the chair. She had things on the chair I'm supposed to sit on at first, and now she's moving it out into the hallway to make more room. Her friends urge me to sit down and have a coffee, but she declines on my behalf. She's such a hard worker. She volunteers to help me without a break today. That's what daughters-in-law should be like. All I can do is fake a smile, and so do her friends. Just as awkwardness fills the air, one of her friends cheerfully mentions, Oh yes, my grandson started crawling the other day. Do you want to see the video? The topic of the conversation shifts, and everyone focuses on the image of a cute baby. The atmosphere of the room becomes relaxed immediately. By the way, how exquisite is the vase you have there? Don't you want to put flowers? Another friend points to a vase by the window. Tina's face turns gray for a moment, but then she immediately smiles. It's so beautiful by itself, so I just leave it as is. A friendly conversation ensues for a while. In the middle of it, Tina excuses herself to use the restroom. This is my chance. I jump on the empty sofa. I don't even know how many hours I've been on my feet. I drift off to sleep from exhaustion and relief. Oh, shoot. By the time I realize, it's too late. Why are you sitting there? Get up and get to work. It's only for a few hours. Don't be so lazy. This is why I don't like young women. When Tina comes out of the restroom, she finds me sleeping on the sofa and scolds me. Her friends are stunned and looking at us with wide eyes. Feeling better after yelling at me, she returns to her seat and sips her coffee. I'm sorry. I feel pathetic and tears welled up. Besides, it's hard to imagine that I would have to endure her bullying in the future. I apologize to her and try to get up. At this moment, someone's hand is placed on my shoulder. Leave it to me. It's Kathy. She's the eldest of Tina's friends. If you are going to treat her like that, you should get up and work yourself. Tina never imagined being accused by her friends, so she's perplexed. Being competitive, there's no way she could keep her mouth shut. Don't meddle in my family's affairs. Besides, do you think you're in the position to give me a lecture? Your son is a high school graduate, and your husband is just a salaryman. If you understand that, you should watch your mouth. I raised Simon to be a respectable elite. Her nostrils flare up in triumph as she speaks fast and furious. On the other hand, Kathy doesn't seem to flinch at all. She snickers and then opens her mouth again. What are you talking about? You idiot. You should be ashamed of yourself for mistreating a young lady like that. She keeps going. It was your husband's late ex-wife who raised Simon to be the man he is today. Oh, And by the way, my husband and son are starting their own business. I don't think it was important, so I didn't tell you until now. Yes, in fact, Tina is the second wife. Simon was already a freshman in college when she married his father. He was already living alone in a dorm, so he had never been taken care of her. What the heck? You all make fun of me! She's losing it as her sore spot is rubbed. She stands up, slamming the table with all her might. I hate this thing! She screams, and at the same time, throws down the vase by the window on the floor. A loud sound of shattering glass echoes, and the vase breaks into pieces. Everyone gasps in unison. When Tina comes to her senses, she freezes there. Then she looks at us and says, It's a memento of the late ex-wife. Please don't tell my husband. He's going to be furious. That's impossible. The vase is in a million pieces now, and it's not something she could get a new one for right away. Furthermore, I've been filming the whole thing, so there's no way she could get away with it. Tina, why are you doing this? After all, it is you who is concerned. She replies weakly, You have no idea. You're pampered just because you're young. You have an elite husband and you have a future. I'm so envious of that. I want people to pay more attention to me. Her resentment keeps pouring out. That's why I've been asking for a grandchild. That everyone would look at me as the grandmother of an adorable baby. I'm feeling a little sorry for her. Maybe she is a lonely person. Actually, she glares at me as I try to tell her something. This is all your fault. You're a failure who can't even conceive. Get down on your knees and apologize for the mess you created. Now I'm a fool for feeling even a little sympathy for her. If she apologizes and changes her mind, I will be able to let this go peacefully, but I guess not. I ask her friends to leave and wait for Simon and my father-in-law to return. Once all of us are gathered, I tell them the details of the day's events and show them the recording. Simon is furious with Tina for making me work without a break and yells out, She's pregnant! Are you serious? You're having a baby? Oh no! If you had told me earlier, I wouldn't have done this. Upon learning the pregnancy, she finally regrets what she has done. That means I'm finally going to be a grandma. Of course, you will let me babysit, right? Please, I'm going to be a good grandma. Her attitude turns upside down now, and she is wiggling and pleading with Simon, who shakes his head in disapproval. What are you talking about? I'm not going to let you see my precious child. Tina's so shocked that she collapsed to her knees and utters a sad cry. I've been told lately that my father-in-law filed for divorce. She intentionally and maliciously destroyed a memento of his beloved late ex-wife. She had been fed up with her pretentious and selfish way, so it was a good timing to separate himself from her. Not only did he file for divorce, he also demanded that she pay for the broken vase. This caused her to lose almost all of her modest savings. She was literally kicked out of her house with nothing. She had been living a comfortable life, but now she's living alone in a small apartment. I, on the other hand, was able to give birth to a healthy baby girl. Both Simon and my father-in-law cried with joy. Of course, I was overwhelmed with happiness too. Every time her little hand squeezes my finger, I'm filled with tremendous love for her. I swear to myself that I would protect her no matter what.